I may rustle a few feathers with what I'm about to say, but that's fine because you need to hear it. You do not need anything on the external to be a certain way in order to have the capability to reside within your new assumptions. What I mean by that is so many people will say to me things like, I'm great when my mood's good and when the 3D reality is good, but as soon as something happens, all of a sudden I can't get my mind under control. Yes, you can. You at least have the capability to do so. As in, it is possible. Your thoughts are directed by you. You are the awareness that you place on those thoughts, not the thoughts themselves. And you have complete control over those thoughts. So yes, I will admit that when things are bad, of course it is tougher to reside within the end result. It is a little bit harder to direct your focus. That I'm absolutely on board with. But what I will not accept, and what from this video onward you are going to stop saying if you truly want to become the person you desire to be, is I will not accept people that say that they can't change their thoughts when something negative is happening. Think of manifestation like going to the gym, or like building a hobby, or like going to work. Of course, there are days when you don't want to. Maybe you're tired, maybe you just can't be asked to listen to your manager for another day, maybe you just think, I'd rather just play games instead of picking up the guitar. But if you want to improve, or if you want to continue getting paid, or if you want to build that body, you need to go anyway. And in fact, with a job, so many of you do it constantly. Most of you hate going to work, and yet you will still go. This is the same attitude that you need to have towards your manifestations and stay true to those assumptions regardless of what is happening. If you truly wish to have that full success, you truly wish to be able to sit there and go, wow, I actually manifested my person or my job or my whatever it is, then you need to stay true to those new assumptions, even in spite of how you feel. No matter what is happening on the external, no matter what your mood is, no matter whether your mind is fighting back with you. If you feel bad, if your mind is fighting back, if you're struggling, then maybe go a little bit more general with it just to build up your mood. Instead of going, I'm in the most loving, committed, passionate relationship with your person and having your mind go, well, no, you're not because of this, and this. Just step back a little bit and say, actually, I do deserve to be in a loving, committed relationship. Because of course you do. You're a human. You deserve love and adoration. And then when you build yourself up and you feel a little bit better, then you can go into your new assumptions. That is fine. That's absolutely acceptable because you're focusing on positive things. But what isn't acceptable is when your mood is a little bit down because you've placed your worth and value and happiness based on what other individuals are doing. And then you say, I can't do it. Because all you're saying there is, A, there's something negative going on. Here's subconscious mind, continue to push this story out. And B, you are giving your power away. Now, I know every single one of you watching this right now absolutely can have what it is that you desire to have. You all have a mind, you can all conceptualize something. Therefore, you can all actualize something. So I don't want to sit there and hear people saying things like, I can't do it, nothing works, nothing will ever work, and things like that. Because that's all just further power towards an assumption that things aren't working out for you. And in fact, that proves that your assumptions create. You have the assumption you can't do it, therefore you can't do it. You have the assumption that when things are bad, you can't pull them back. Therefore, when things are bad, you can't pull them back. So from this moment onward, what you're going to do is you're going to create the new assumption. You're going to get clear on what it is that you want and what it would mean to you to have it, how you would think, feel, and act. And you are going to redirect your thoughts back to that state of mind consistently until your desire comes to reality, or until you decide you no longer want it. Those are the only two variables. If you're in a bad mood, you do it anyway. You continue to affirm, or if affirming makes you feel worse, then you go a little bit more general, or you focus on something more positive until you get to a better state, and then you go back into it. But the last thing that you're going to be doing, or that I expect you to be doing, is dwelling in the negatives. Even if we take manifestation away and say that it doesn't exist, God comes, big old hand, smacks me for telling you guys that this thing exists, and says, no, it's all a lie. What benefit would you have then thinking negative anyway? What benefit would there ever be in those instances, even without manifestation, to dwell in stuff that doesn't benefit you? There is absolutely no benefit with or without manifestation being in the picture. So why don't we just let it go? Why don't we just Stop for a moment, take a few deep breaths, put on our favorite song, go to the gym, affirm more generally, go see friends, go spend time with our family, go buy a kitten, go fight club, go, I don't know, what other things are that's called, go to a sensory room, go to a rage room. Doesn't matter. There are literally infinite things that you could do instead of dwelling on that negative circumstance, instead of telling yourself that you're never going to succeed, instead of commenting things on YouTube videos saying you're never going to succeed, and instead of hurting yourself more. Because all that does is it makes you experience it within your mind, which, remember, your body and mind don't know what is and isn't real. It only knows what you're telling it. So you are quite literally hurting yourself to then create it because you've dwelled in the negative and hurt yourself more when it actually happens. So from this moment onward, you are going to create the assumption that you have your desire, whatever that means for you. Loving relationship, feeling safe and secure, feeling good enough, got that job, got that house, whatever it is that you desire, up here, you are going to create a scene or statement that implies that you have it. And in any time that your mind goes to something opposite of that, or that desire comes to mind, you are going to bring your mind back to that scene or statement and reside within it. You are going to reside within it until you feel a moment of truth in that, with that desire, and then you're going to go on living your day. If bringing that scene or statement to mind hurts more, your resistance is absolutely crazy, it feels worse to go back to that desired state, which to me is a little bit baffling because I can definitely understand resistance, but I've never understood showing myself something positive and then gone, oh, I don't like this because it feels worse. But people are out there, so I'm obviously going to accommodate everything that I can. But if you feel that way, maybe take a step back. Go a bit more general. I am deserving of love and adoration. I am deserving of a relationship that's long lasting. I do have amazing things going on in my life. I am fulfilled with positive things. And then when you feel better, then go back into the affirmations or visualization. Or put on your favorite song, exercise, rage room, all the other things. Anything to get yourself back to a neutral space and then persist in your new assumption. That is how you succeed. I was asked a question in my live stream where someone said, how can you show the logical mind that repetition is necessary for impressing the subconscious mind? And in my response, I literally quite said something along the lines of, anything that takes being good at requires effort. If you want to learn the guitar, you have to actually continue to play the guitar. If you want to get good in the bedroom, you have to keep doing it so that you can learn what your partner likes and learn what's good with you and learn how to make do with what you've got. If you want to read a book, you have to show up and read page after page after page. Anything that takes being good at something, you need to keep going back to. It is the same with manifestation. You've got an assumption that you want to create. That assumption will create a desired outcome. So keep going back to that assumption. If you keep going back to I can't and this thing out here says this thing and so on and so forth, then you are just recreating that outcome for you to experience. And if you don't like that outcome, why do you keep going back to it? Yes, I understand that the mind likes to go back to stuff like that because that's the way the human mind is built. For some reason, well, I know the reason, it's the human ego trying to keep you safe. But for some reason, we're just built to want to go back to the negative. So it's fine if your mind goes there. But you staying there is entirely your choice. So make a more beneficial choice to dwell in the new assumption that you desire to create. If you can do that repetitively, there you go. If you can be as disciplined and consistent with placing yourself in the new assumption as you are with letting your mind dwell in the old one, you will create that new assumption just as easily as you've created the old one. Honestly. The only reason why you may be struggling to create that new assumption is because your resolve to create a new assumption and experience something new is not higher than the feeling of instant gratification that you get from dwelling in the negative. Now, I know that may sound crazy because all of you are probably like, I don't want to dwell in the negative. I don't want to experience this pain. But yes, you do. To a degree, you're addicted to it. That's why you can't bring yourself out of it. There is no other reason because you are in control of your mind, which means if your mind is still going back to an old space, in one form or another, you are either allowing it to, therefore not having the discipline to stop it, or you're choosing to. Kind of like when you're in a sad mood and you put on another sad song deliberately to make yourself cry some more. That's what many of us do when it comes to these negative assumptions, and it's so unconscious we don't even realize we're doing it. But if you want to get to where I am, where Sammy Ingram is, where Naya is, where Corey T is, where all of these other coaches are, you've got to do what we do. which is repeat the new assumption until it hardens into fact, not until we decide to throw our dummy out again, and not until we feel it should have hardened into fact. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a little bit of a stern, tough, lovey kind of video, just because I've had a lot of comments lately of people just putting complaints, not even a how can I overcome this, but literally I can't do it, this is what's going wrong, I hate everything, and leaving it at that. So I'm here with a little bit more of a stern, do this, otherwise I'm going to through the phone. But I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, by all means, drop me a like and a comment to let me know. Subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon if you're new here and you don't want to miss any future videos. Sign up for either my coaching, my I Manifest For You service, or my membership if you want some additional help that is guaranteed to help you on your journey. Plenty of success stories over on my Instagram, fuck's sake, matt.turner.mindset. Where was I? Click one of these playlists that appear somewhere. I can never remember where YouTube puts it, so click there. And I really look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.